Laura here. Today I'm going to do a makeup tag, and I actually got tagged in this one. So Amanda D tagged me to do this video and it's called Behind the Scenes YouTuber Tag. So that's the first time anyone's tagged me, so hello Amanda, I'm doing the tag. And I think some of these questions I have answered in another tag video, and I was thinking about it the other day about how sometimes once you've thought about answers for a little bit, you remember stuff that you'd forgotten before. So my answers are basically the same to some of those questions, but some of them might be a little bit different because I remembered other things or I expand upon it or whatever. So the first question anyway is, what was the hardest part about starting a channel? The hardest part was that I had no idea what I was doing. So I had to buy a new phone anyway because mine had it. And so I brought a new phone with the idea that I wanted a phone that would be good for taking videos with. So I started my channel because of my art. I wanted to take my art stuff. I didn't start my channel to do makeup, that came later. And I had no idea what I was doing. I was lucky enough that my mum and dad used to be into photography and they had a tripod, so I didn't have to go and buy a tripod. I just brought one of those things that you stick the phone on the tripod, so that was helpful and it saved me some money. But also to edit from the phone to the computer, we needed to put more memory on the computer and we needed a graphics card because the computer just wasn't beefy enough to handle it. And so it's the hardest part, is learning how to use all that stuff, because my husband was an IT person, so he knew how to put the graphics card in and he knew how to get extra memory and stuff, and that was fine. But because he's in IT, I just never bothered to learn how to use the computer, because if I wanted something I'd just say, oh, can you do such and such? So I got really lazy and I just never bothered, because when I was teaching, I was doing relief teaching and I didn't have to use the computers at work either, because I'd just go in and relieve someone and then go home. So I got really lazy about using the computer, so I didn't know what I was doing, and it took me ages to learn how to do anything. So between filming something and getting it up on YouTube for the first time, there was a huge gap, because I had so much to learn and figure out, and just even figuring out how to set up my YouTube channel and everything, because I didn't know what I was doing. So I had learned a little bit because I had been doing some social media stuff and that for my art, but basically I had no idea what I was doing. So that was definitely the hardest part. What equipment do you use? Well, when I first started, I used my phone, and I used this phone here, which you'll be able to see me on there because I use this with my camera now. So this is just an ASUS one. Oops. And I used that one when I first started, and my problem with the phone was that it get a sound lag with it. So because I was doing art videos, it didn't matter that much because my face wasn't in front of the camera very much, so that would just be at the beginning or the end, and I could edit the sound to match my lips, as long as I wasn't talking too long, because otherwise you'd have to just stop and edit and stop and edit and stop and edit. So when I went into doing makeup videos where you're seeing me talk all the time, that sound lag was a real problem. And I couldn't adjust it on my phone because it doesn't have the capability to stop it being a variable frame rate, which is apparently what you have to do. You have to put it on constant frame rate. And if it does have that ability, I couldn't find it to do that. And then I tried adjusting it on the computer through a program, and I can't remember what it was called now, that you can run it through and it's supposed to make everything match up. But then my editing program, because I use the DaVinci Resolve, the free version, didn't like it at all, and so that wouldn't work. Yeah, so I had to buy a new camera because my one just, it wasn't working very well. So I have got the Panasonic FZ 2500 is what I'm using now, and I really like it because I don't have that sound lag problem. It's a much better picture than my phone, and because of the way I've got it set up, I've got a really huge memory card, so I can fit lots of memory on it. Because one thing I need for my art stuff is I need the camera to be able to go for a long time, because I can't have it turning off every 20-25 minutes or whatever when I'm painting, because I will never notice, and I will finish the painting and then think, oh, I only taped the first 20 minutes of that, and that would just drive me insane. So there were a couple of things I got when I got the camera that has really helped as well. So I got a continuous battery, so instead of buying a whole lot of little batteries, and these batteries cost about 50 New Zealand dollars, so they're not cheap. I went on Amazon through the advice from the camera people where I brought the camera from, because I brought the camera in store. I didn't buy that online because I needed some help choosing. And so they recommended that I go and buy a continuous battery, which is just one that plugs into the power and it goes into the battery slot in your battery. And it's so I never run out of power. Like, I went out and forgot to turn the camera off, but it's still working fine because it just keeps going. I didn't have it recording. I turned off the record, but I forgot to turn the actual camera off. So I never have to worry about it running out of power if I'm using the camera by a power switch, which is great. And I didn't have to spend lots of money buying a whole lot of backup batteries. I've got one battery that came with the camera, and I've got the continuous battery. And I found out a few things when I was talking to the camera guys. The guys that I was talking to, I started off talking to one, and then we went back to the shop, and about 2 weeks later to buy the camera. And so we talked to someone else then. And when I was researching the camera, this is really long, I'm so sorry. When I was researching to get a camera, because I knew I'd get one camera and that would probably be it. I'm unlikely to grade up or anything. Well, and if I do, it'll be a really long time, because I filmed on my phone for nearly a whole year before I got an actual camera. And when I was researching it on YouTube, everyone was going, oh, get a Canon, get a Canon, get a Canon. But when I went in store, I said, oh, okay, I want this camera, the Canon whatever it was, because it was a good starter one. But then when I started talking to him more, and he says, well, if that's what you want, that's fine. We haven't got one in stock at the moment, but I can get one in for you. And I won't suggest anything else because you know what you want. And I said, well, actually, I don't really know what I want. I'm just going by the advice I saw on YouTube. So then he started giving me some advice. And I told him I wanted a camera that wouldn't stop every 20 minutes. So he said, well, the Canon's not going to do, it's going to be a problem because it's going to stop every 20 minutes. And it's not because the camera overheats. I hear a lot of people say, oh, my camera overheated and I had to stop it for a while. Apparently that is not it at all. It's to do with tax. So if a camera stops every 20 minutes, it can still be classed as a camera and not a video camera, and so you don't pay as much tax on it, which is the only reason that they do that with a camera. So I thought, really? So if you've got a camera that doesn't stop, it will cost more because it's classed as a video camera and not a still camera. So yeah, so I got a camera that didn't stop, that I've got a continuous battery on and a huge memory card in it, so I don't run out of memory card and I don't run out of power, and it doesn't stop on me, and I love that. Definitely love that. It would drive me crazy if it stopped all the time. Anyway, it was a bit of a rant. Okay, so the next question is, what editing program do you use and what did you start with? I started with the DaVinci Resolve free version, and I still use the DaVinci Resolve free version because I didn't want to learn one thing and then later on think, oh, I need to learn something else. And I know if I ever want to expand, I can have the paid version and I will have more capability. But honestly, I don't think I need it at this stage. I'm quite happy just using the free version. And you do need quite a beefy computer. As I said, I needed to get a new graphics card and more memory to be able to handle it. But I can do everything I need to do. I can fast forward and put different frames in, and I can slow things down, and I can put picture in picture, and all the things that I want to do, I can do. So I'm happy with that. Sorry, just had a bit of a coughing fit, now my eyes are all watery. So, number 4. Did you have any experience with making videos before starting YouTube? I think I answered that already. No, absolutely none. Had no idea what I was doing. And, oh no, I'm crying. No, had no idea what I was doing. I had to learn it all. So, if I can do it, you can do it if you want to start a YouTube channel. If I can learn it, anybody can. Number 5, on average, how long does it take you to edit? Does depend on the video. It's a lot quicker now with my camera. Used to take me forever. And the art videos take a lot longer to edit than just talk through one. Like a tag video doesn't take that long because I don't have to stop and start it all the time. I don't have to edit too much out because I just usually start the camera and talk and then finish, and there aren't that many gaps that I need to edit out. Like I'll edit out the coughing fit because you don't need to hear that. The art videos take a lot longer because, of course, I don't do very many art videos all in real time because you'd be sitting there for 2-3 hours watching a video. So that's not going to work so well. I know some artists do that and it's like a follow-along thing, but I don't. So I will fast forward through bits of it. So that takes a lot more editing. Something like this one, so it would probably take me about half an hour to edit this one. And it would take, and then you've got to render it, and then by the time you upload it to YouTube and write out the description box and make the thumbnail and all the rest of it, you're talking about an hour. So to actually film it, it probably takes about an hour, and then to edit and get it up takes about an hour. So a couple of hours from start to finish for a simple video. For the art videos and that, it'll take way longer, because apart from the fact that it's going to take way longer to film it in any case, so you're talking 2, 3, 4 hours of painting time filming, if not longer. And then it will probably take, some of them can take up to an hour to edit, and then you've still got the uploading, so rendering, uploading, and doing the description box and filling out the thumbnails and things. So yeah, so it takes a while. It depends on the video. A simple video will take about an hour, and anything else will take longer. Number 6, what's the worst technical accident you've had since starting your channel? Our computer blew up. So that wasn't good. I did lose some footage, not too much. Thankfully, because we'd put the extra memory in, we were able to save most of the memory. But yeah, we had to buy a new computer for that. Otherwise, there would be no videos going on. That was not good. And I think it was a power surge, even though, yeah, we've got a power surger thing now to stop that happening again. But yeah, no, that wasn't good. Do you ever film something and not upload it? Yeah, sometimes. I've got 5 videos that I haven't uploaded yet. I do plan on uploading them, but if I wait too long, I probably won't, because as you do more videos, you get better at it, and then the ones from earlier you look at and think, oh god. And sometimes my art ones I don't, because I do it and something technical will go wrong, like I'll forget to press record, like human error, technical. Yeah, like I'll forget to press record and I'll miss half the painting, or just it wasn't in frame properly, and you can't see what I'm doing, or the back of my head's in the way or something. So yeah, sometimes I do, not as much as I used to. I'm getting better at doing more successful ones. Number 8. Do you write a script or plan what you're going to talk about? I think you can tell I don't write a script. Sometimes I have already done it, especially with something like this. I'll answer all the questions, or I'll go through all my empties or something, and then realise that I forgot to press record, and I'll have to do it again. And on the second time, it often makes more sense than the first time. Or I forgot to put my mic on. Yeah, or I've forgotten to put my microphone on. So if I forget to put my microphone on, sometimes I'll reshoot it, and sometimes I won't. It depends what it is. Like, I was doing this eye look today, and I forgot to put my microphone on for the first half of the look, and it was actually sitting on the floor under the bed, so you're not going to be able to hear a word that I was saying, but I didn't refilm it because I'd already done half the eye look, and I wasn't going to take it off and start again, because I'd already been filming for a while. So, what was the question again? I can't even remember. Oh, do you write a script? No, I don't write a script. I just edit out all the so's and ums and long pauses where I can't think of anything to say. Number 9. Have you started talking differently since starting your YouTube channel? Have I started talking differently on YouTube, or have I started talking differently in general? I talk differently on YouTube since I started on YouTube, because at the beginning, and if you watch my trailer, don't watch my trailer, I need to redo that. That was scripted, and that sounds scripted. It sounds like I'm reading off a piece of paper, which is exactly what I was doing, because I didn't know what to say, and I was really self-conscious and stuff, and you can see that and hear that in my voice. I feel I'm a lot more natural on camera now, and I can just talk and not feel stupid talking to myself. Number 10, what's the one thing that annoys you when editing yourself? I say so a lot. I don't say that often, although I just said it then. And then. But I think when I first started editing, I didn't realise how often I raise one eyebrow. And it was like, oh, why do I do that all the time? So that was weird. I don't know that there's anything that really annoys me about myself when I'm editing. What does really annoy me is sometimes my computer turns off in the middle of editing, and I haven't saved it. That really annoys me. Number 11, what's your biggest editing pet peeve in other videos? My biggest pet peeve would be when people have the music too loud. Like, you know how they put the music on, and either they'll have the music on when they're doing something or fast forwarding and they're not talking, but the music is way louder than the rest of the video, and so I always wear headphones when I have my videos on, so that I'm not annoying everybody else in the house with what I'm listening to. And so when you get blasted with music, it's not very good. But the biggest pet peeve is when they do music and they're talking and the music is too loud and you can't hear what they're saying. I really don't like that. Very often I'm like, I can't even watch this because I can't hear what they're saying. So I give up. Number 12, do you ever feel self-conscious in your videos? When I first started, definitely. When I first started, you'll notice, apart from like my channel trailer and that, I never showed my face. I would just talk behind the camera, and then I got a bit more confident and started talking in front of the camera a bit, and now I'm in front of the camera all the time, and that's fine. I do feel self-conscious if there's anyone else around and I'm trying to film. I can't film if there's someone else in the room watching me, or when there's people. I'm in front of a window, so if people are walking in the front yard, like my dad or my daughter or my husband walks past, I very often stop and wait till they're finished. whatever they're doing or walking past, and then carry on, because I feel weird sitting here talking to myself if anyone else sees me. If I'm just on my own, like at the moment, I don't feel self-conscious at all. I can sit here and talk to you. In other words, talk to myself on the camera. Number 12, what keeps you inspired to keep creating? I think creating itself keeps me inspired because I like to create things, and to me making videos is creative and I'm creating something. So that's why I do art, because I love creating stuff. I love being creative. Why I do makeup, because I love creating something and playing with colour and stuff. So to me it's just an extension of being creative. So that's why I find it very satisfying to create something and put it out there and talk with other people who have got similar interests and make friends on YouTube and stuff. I find it really satisfying, so that's why I do it. So Amanda tagged me in this video and said the creators of this tag were Annette and Prue LaRue. So I will link their channels down below as well, so you can check them out. And thank you, Amanda, for tagging me, and I will see you next time.